Welcome to Bothering the Band. My name is Ryan Bynack. With me, as always, is the business casual Abigail Ann Levy. Abby, have you ever seen Days of Thunder?
Who hasn't seen Days of
Oh,
Thunder?
better question. My favorite line, anytime I say it, it's got like something about the word perfect. I think of Robert Duvall saying to Tom Cruise's character, whose name I forget now, but he's like, I want you to hit the pace car. And he's like, hit the pace car. And he's like, yeah, you hit everything else out there. So I want you to be perfect. But he says it real like, I want you to be perfect. Like he says it very emphatically. That being said, today's guest is Adam Turla, the lead singer of Murder by Death, one of our favorite fucking bands, and their new album, Spellbound, spell backslash bound, is absolutely perfect in my mind. That's the segue. That's the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Turla from Murder by Death. Adam, can you hear us?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Sorry, I was late.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's not our first time. It's not the first time. It's not our last. We're kind of used to it. We've just been doing other work.
All right. I'm in the car just for driving in the long drive, last day of this leg of the tour. So we're out of it.
Well, the first question is, how are you and where are you?
We are about 30 minutes from Asheville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We're just pretty whooped in general from being on the road for, I don't know, like 3-4 weeks. And we just getting over being sick. So classic tour sick experience. But, other than that, pretty good.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. We are, to say we're fans is putting it lightly. We also love Spellbound so much. That record is fucking perfect. So
yeah.
Hell yeah.
We like this record a lot, so it's gratifying to hear that.
Yeah, dude. We love it. Actually, Abby is gonna be seeing you in like a week in Salt Lake. So this
cool.
worked out. She's had those tickets. So this just fucking worked out. So my first question is, can you take a photo with Abby in that cool elevator in the depot in Salt Lake?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. We'll hook it. We'll follow up on that. Abby, tell them about the elevator.
They have their own freight elevator there, and they decorated it with a bunch of really cool lights. And it became so popular, it has its own Instagram. And so at some point they will put you and the band in there and ask you to take a photo for their venue and their Instagram. But it's a really cool old freight elevator. And I don't know, it's just fun.
Okay. So you live in Louisville. I never say it right. I'm sorry. And do you know of the record store Surface Noise?
Yep. I live right down the street from it.
Oh, nice. We love that. Brett, who owns it, is a fan and friend of ours. He's done a lot for us. So shout out to that guy.
Nice.
Do you ever run into Will Oldham there in that neighborhood?
I do see him all the time. We go to the same post office, and we have met on occasion, but I can't tell if he knows who I am or remembers me. So I never really, I've waved at him, but he seems like he's always in his own world. It's like I saw him at the farmer's market like the day before we left for this tour, but I don't think he remembers who we are. It's like one of those, I don't know. Who knows?
That's funny too.
But
just massive musicians passing each other.
We met at some retreat at some point where we were doing like charity stuff for local, this local organization. But it's I think he was at I saw him the other day. He was at our restaurant's 5th anniversary party, but I don't think he knew. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, so this is a perfect segue because I was going to ask you how you feel about Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, that's one of those questions where, I mean, I think my opinion is I don't care about it enough to make a big stink about it. But I do think that anything that makes like a pizza too wet can ruin the dough. And I think the dough is the most important part. Like the crust is the marker of a good pizza. So I don't really care about toppings as long as the crust is good. But I do think that like I'm sure there's a way to like char pineapple and get the moisture out to where it works really well with the ham, but nobody does it. It's like you never have it that way. Like nobody put all that work in.
Yeah, it's like canned pineapple chunks. They're just like
Right. They
dump
just
it
try to
on.
make it easy, or even
Yeah.
if they cut up a pineapple, it's like it's not like prepared in such a way. So I don't know. I'm kind of like the crazy pizza toppings are not really my thing. I tend to just go with like, is the crust good? Cool. Whatever you put on it is gonna be good.
Yeah. You're more of a traditionalist when it comes to pizza?
Maybe. I don't know if that's traditional. There's a lot of interest now in you know, just trying to find the best possible way to use science to get the best bread. So like some of it is kind of modern where it's just like how do we make sure we're not just eating like junky cardboard crust.
Yeah. I'm just taking notes to make food later. I'm starving.
Me too.
If you had to do a concert in one chain pizza restaurant, what one would you do? What one would you choose?
That's a good question that I've never thought about. But the answer is probably Jet's Pizza because
Oh, I love Jet.
when I was nice. Yeah, when I was a kid, that was the local like cheapo chain that we
Yeah.
would go to. And we would like ride our bikes there and get like 2 slices and a Coke for 2.50. And so I have many fond memories of getting my aluminum foil wrapped pizza there.
You're talking Detroit style, correct?
Yeah, I grew up in
That
Detroit.
Jets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in Florida and we have one. It's arguably, and I'm from New York. I love all
Yeah.
types of shit, but Jets is darn good.
Yeah, I think as far as the chain goes, it's probably the best one, and they've really been expanding. Like we have one in Louisville, and like I fucking own a pizza restaurant. Sometimes I order Jets.
Yeah.
Like
I get
sometimes that's just you want that like fake cheese, like bad for you, fun kind
yeah,
of
of course.
slam at pizza.
Are you a basketball fan now that you're in Louisville?
No,
No.
not at all. But everyone else is enough of a basketball fan to cover for me, and that's
Yeah. And so
I never really followed it.
no, are you a sports fan at all?
I don't watch any sports anymore, really, other than I get obsessed with the Olympics every 2 years, and I am a rock climber. I rock climb 3 times a week, so sometimes I watch rock climbing stuff.
Oh, cool. What's your favorite like weird Olympic sport? Like badminton or
I have to say the thing that I never thought I would get so into, but I probably it might be my favorite is gymnastics now. It's just so insanely impressive. And the older I get, the more I realize how out of this world what they're doing is and how just like impossible it seems. Like when you just try to do, something that's like a physical activity that's challenging, like just, trying to do like sets of pull-ups or something and, seeing how much it wipes you out, even if you feel you're in good shape. And then you see what they're doing. Insane. I mean, absolutely shocking level of fitness and physicality. And I'm just like watching the TV yelling.
Yeah, it's insane. You're 100%. I can't even do a cartwheel. So
That's what I'm saying. It's like the level of performance and the detail that they get down to. It just every time I watch, I'm more impressed. I mean, I love the giant like ski jumps in the Winter Olympics, and like just seeing like the fastest people in the world, or all that stuff. It's hard to mess with.
So what's What's one music band song that you love that would surprise people like us?
The song that we have been uh listening to lately that comes to mind. Oh my god, why is my brain not working right now? Summer Breeze. We've been on a kick with the song Summer Breeze.
Like Summer Breeze
The
makes me
Isley
feel fun, like
Brothers.
that. Oh yeah,
Makes me feel fine. Yeah, just like that song has been like inhabiting my soul for the last couple of years.
I love it. I love it. Do you take naps?
I wish I could more. I need to nap more. I on tour it would be a great skill, but I'm usually just working
Yeah.
when I wish I was
What's the last Shrek film you watched?
napping. Great question. I definitely it was on an airplane because that's when I watch Shrek adjacent materials. Um, I'm gonna say it was probably like whatever came out like 15 years ago. I have not seen one even remotely recently. I don't think I saw the Puss in Boots one.
I love that you know that. There you go.
It's Antonio Banderas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Part of the legacy of Shrek.
This is a real dumb question. Do you have an innie or an outie belly button?
I have an innie, and it's
Thank
collects
God.
a alarming amount of lint.
Oh, mine does too. That's a thing no one teaches you when you're a young
Yeah.
man.
No, it's like I could clear it every day, and it's always there.
Who's drive? Or you're not driving, right?
Sarah's driving.
Oh,
She's over
okay.
there.
Hey, Sarah.
We're in
belly
a
button lint.
separate vehicle right now.
Yeah. We figured that, or you were pulling something.
We've got the van and trailer going separately to the club right
Nice. I texted a buddy of mine, my friend Joey. He was like, "Hey, go see Murder by Death tonight."
now. Nice.
I don't know if he will, but okay. Adam Sandler or Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys or Adam Duritz from Counting Crows. We could go on and on. Adam from Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. Who's your favorite Adam?
I've never really thought about it. But I will say I was heavy into Counting Crows in 6th grade.
Nice.
Though maybe not heavy into Adam Kurtz's dreadlocks at the time. But I was that album was definitely formative as a songwriter and as an early music listener. I mean, Sistine Chapel's all right. It's a nice Adam. Have had the fortune of seeing it a couple times.
Very cool. So you're going with Adam Duritz? Is that your favorite?
Of the selected options, I'm trying to think of like another Adam. For such a common name, I feel like there's not as many.
Adam West, Adam Scott, Adam
yeah, those
Ant.
are the two I thought of.
Adam
I
Driver,
celebrate all
Adam
the-
Levine.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're good. You're good with the Adams. I'm gonna say that I feel moderately. I feel moderate happiness about all of those. None of them are like leaping out like that's my boy. None of those are my top dog. But I have a general acceptance of Adams.
Well, you're our favorite Adam. Thanks, sir. Thanks for answering that super dumb question. We're gonna keep. Oh, have you ever read Stephen King's book on writing?
Sarah has read it, and I have read excerpts from it. I don't think I ever read the whole thing. I remember reading it in college, but I feel like we just read sections. But yeah, it's really good. My memory is that he's very good at communicating the craft.
Yeah, And have you ever seen a ghost?
I have felt a ghost on an occasion, but I've never seen a ghost. I had a good encounter in Ireland when I was like 17, and it was definitely an eye opener and made me say, "Well, shit," about ghosts. And I don't have like any big opinions about it. Like I insist, but I had a weird experience, and it just keeps my mind open, I guess.
That's a great answer. Diplomatic ghost answer. There's a song title for you.
Diplomatic ghosts.
You play a lot of cool places. This is what these questions are leading to. Do you have, aside from the Stanley Hotel, do you have like a bucket list place that you're like, I want to play there once in my life?
Yeah, recently I have been thinking about that a little bit just because we've been playing for so long, and it's interesting seeing like some of our friends who are either musicians or crew people. We know a lot of crew people, going to these like sort of storied venues that are sort of out of our league to some extent. And one of the ones I've been thinking about lately is like, I'd just love to open a show at the Gorge up in Washington. I think that would be a cool one. We've had the fortune of playing at Red Rocks. We, it's like, there are places that I think would be really cool. Like, sure, I'd love to play the Sydney Opera House. But honestly, like we got to tour in Australia in 2019, and that was something that was more like, I've never been to Australia. It would be nice to go see the Sydney Opera House. And we did. And we just took a long walk on a rainy day and enjoyed ourselves, out in the harbor. And it was cool. Sometimes it's just about, for me, it's not so much about like a sense of accomplishment and needing to be like, have reached a certain level in the career or have done something, I don't know, impressive. I'm more just like that the band has allowed us to get to some places I might never have gotten before.
It's very cool.
Sarah whispered to me, we did just achieve something pretty special. We just about a week ago, we headlined our first show at First Avenue in Minneapolis.
Nice.
And we had played there before opening quite a few times back in the day, but we'd never done our own show there, closed it out. We were all, when we started this band, one of the few acts we all agreed on was Prince. And so that was pretty special for us. That was like, we were all taking stock of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's very cool. And that place, and just the Twin Cities alone come up a lot because it's such a music town, surprisingly, and it's so many great bands come out of there. So two things. One, I think you can play the Gorge I think you should ask. You guys are pretty big time, and you should just ask. And then secondly, you should also go back and play like the Jets used to go to as a kid.
Yeah, I'm sure they love that. It's about the standing area is probably about 20 square feet. It's like just big enough for like 4 kids to wait for their slices.
That'd be a cool like marketing campaign, is do it on the roof like the Beatles.
Yeah. Just throwing slices of pizza at people as they walk
by. Have you ever drank the water in Mexico?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Really? Aren't you not supposed to do that? Aren't you like shit your brains out?
Well, I mean, depends on the source and the city, and we have bad water and bad pipes in the U.S. too.
Oh, yeah.
But it depends on what we're talking about. But I've also had illness in Mexico before, but I've been ill in every country I've ever been to at some point.
That's a good record to have. I cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, I just said, yes, sick on every tour in every country.
That's a badge of honor, man.
Or something.
Badge of honor. Have you ever driven a Tesla?
No, I've
Have
never
you ever?
been in Tesla.
Yeah, me neither. I was just trying to play off your last name. It's real tough coming up with these dumb questions.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I don't get Teslas.
no, me neither. Did you ever go when you were in college? Did you ever do like a crazy spring break in like Daytona or Panama City?
I once went to Toronto. We jumped in a car and drove to Toronto when it was our freshman year, and you could drink when you were 19. And
Oh
I was
yeah,
still 18, but my friends were 19, and I managed to. We basically were like, we're gonna go out to the bar and go to like some punk shows, go to like a dance club, and we just had never like been to bars, so that was like our wild march in Toronto, cold weather adventure.
nice. So while you're driving through Georgia right now, who's watching RoboCop?
He's in the car.
Oh yeah, no
Uh,
shit.
yeah, he's been on this leg of the tour with us for the last 3.5 weeks. He, yeah, he's in a little crate, and then we get to the venue, and he gets to see all the touring party, and everybody pets him and gives him a lot of attention. And yeah, he's been on tour. He's been a pretty good tour doggy.
Oh, that's incredible. Abby is so happy right now. She loves dogs.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's a. I want to say RoboCop is the coolest dog name I've ever heard. Were there any other?
It suits him too.
Were you tossing out any other suggested names before that?
No, that was pretty much it. It was just like, well, it's funny because we kind of got what we asked for, which was that he, when we got him, we just thought he was really like cute and sweet looking, and we thought that'd be a funny contrast with his. He's 24 pounds. He's not like a big dog,
Mm-hmm.
and we thought it'd be funny. But then it turns out he's a total cop because he is constantly like checking people in. Like if new people enter a room, he like barks and then he goes up and he has to like sniff them and then he needs to interact with them. They need to like acknowledge him. And he's just like constantly fussing over any sound or new person coming in. If it's like the people he knows, like the band, he's great. You know, he's just like happy to see them. But like if it's like a person he hasn't met, he's like, check this guy out, search him, check his prints. Like it's just like, so it turns out he is a bit of a nuisance, but we love him anyway.
Oh, that sounds like an adorable nuisance, though. And
It can be.
You really lit up talking about the puppy. So
Well,
that's great.
He's my favorite. I'm crazy about it.
Oh, that's adorable. That's remarkable. I love it. And just a few more dumb questions. Who's your favorite Disney villain?
Ooh, favorite Disney villain. You know, my favorite Disney movie is Robin Hood. So I wonder if it's the Sheriff of Rottingham. Probably
I
that.
think that's it. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. That was the one when I was a kid that I really identified with. Roger Miller does the soundtrack, and that was my introduction, I think, to country music.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty cool.
If
That's a
I
good
think
little
about it.
tidbit.
It's fun.
Yeah. What's do you have any family Christmas traditions that you've carried on?
Well, yeah, for sure. So my family's from Italy, and
Mhm.
my mom immigrated here, and so we have a very Italian Christmas. And what that means is that we eat on Christmas. We have a Christmas Eve meal and a Christmas Day meal.
Do you do the
And
fishes?
we don't do the Feast of the Seven Fishes thing. That's from a different region, but we do eat a brodetto, which is like a cioppino seafood stew. So it's like mixed seafood, and tomatoes, and a fish broth. You got to use the fish heads to get the right consistency for the broth and the packet of flavor. And then we do a lasagna bolognese, which is like a spinach dough that you make like with egg pasta, and it's filled with like a meaty ragu and a bechamel sauce. And so we eat one of those, for the day and one for Christmas Eve. We do that every year. And then we have a panettone, which is like a cake every year as well. And that's just like total tradition. We also eat cappelletti, which is like it's like a dumpling soup. It's basically tortellini and brodo. But it's very, very good in a chicken stock. And but yeah, we have a lot of like food Christmas traditions.
Starving, just utterly starving right now.
Yeah, and
that all sounds very delicious.
Oh, it's out of this world. And I've learned all those dishes. I have actually gotten to the point where I can say I've perfected those dishes the way my grandma would make them, because I spent like the last 15 years of her life bugging her and helping her cook, because I was not going to let those leave my life when she passed away, because it was just such a huge connection to that side of my family, and food was the center of everything. So I now know how to make all those dishes, and I really feel like I can do her justice.
Oh, well, we're coming over this Christmas.
It's a good idea.
Okay, so if you could interview anyone living or dead and ask them similar questions to what we're asking you, who would it be? And what would you ask them? Essentially, who would you want to bother and ask dumb questions like this?
I think it would be funny to get someone historical's perspective on stuff and to try to come up with questions for somebody from a time that's not your own. I don't know who I want to ask those questions, but I suppose you could torture a villain with the questions, depending on how much time I have. You could, I mean, like, it's hard not to be curious about, great minds of the past. It's like Shakespeare had to be funny, right? I mean, those plays are hilarious. Like, the wordplay is incredible. Like, I bet he would have come up with probably some of the better, he or she or whoever Shakespeare was. I bet they would know. They'd have really good answers.
I think that's a really good answer.
I like that.
And last, what's next? And you can answer this however you like. What's next for Adam Turla?
Well, we are wrapping up this tour, and then we've got about 3 weeks left. And then our plan is to try to not tour so much so that we can spend more time being creative in general. Like Sarah she's going to be working. She's really into ceramics these days. So she'll be doing lots of ceramics. My goal is to get really bored in 2023. And we're still going to be touring and playing shows, but I want to basically just enjoy not being in a pandemic like business saving mode, because we had a really long pandemic in the sense that we had to basically make sure that our restaurant was okay, and then we were sent home from tour, and it was a difficult financial period. But I just worked my ass off through the pandemic, making sure everyone was good. And now we're okay. We're very happy. But it's also, just very, it's time for me to chill out a little bit. So I'm going to be traveling. We're actually, right before you called, we were booking, we're going to go with some friends to visit their family in Mexico for Dia de los Muertos. And
cool.
We're going to go see art in some places, go to Art Basel in Miami. We're just trying to plan
nice,
pleasant activities and also home time.
Yeah, that's great. Well, don't drink the water in Mexico, or do, whatever you choose. When you're in Miami, I'm about an hour north. Let me know. We'll go get some pizza. I'll bring you jets. And then did you just get to the venue?
Yep. We just pulled up.
That is fucking perfect because that's our last question.
Here's Danny
Just
on a little scooter.
is that a scooter?
Danny
Watch
from
that speed
Amigo.
bump.
Yeah.
Adam,
Oh,
dude,
here's RoboCop.
Let's see.
There you go. He's in his little crate.
Oh, he's
Oh, buddy.
Hey, Roby.
Oh,
Are you a good boy?
he kind of fits the dog that looks like its owner a little bit.
Oh, I get that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, Adam, take us out. Tell the people just where to follow you, and that's our show. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, I guess just Murder by Death on Instagram and murderbydeath.com, that kind of stuff. We're easy to find.
Yeah, dude.
Weird band name.
Again, Abby's seeing you. Thank you so much for doing this. And again, fucking record is perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Someone taught you wrong, kid. You've been harping on about a world where only killers get ahead. You're still listening to that thing under your bed. Now I've made my house a home, a shelter from the storm. But no man has ever made it alone. Only the fakers and the cheats will tell you so. They say you gotta be cutthroat, thief. Oh, that's so cowardly. I'll never be. I'll never be. I'll never be. I'll never be. Someone taught you wrong, kid. Done it that way so long. Got this whole thing turned upside down on its head. Still listening to that thing under your bed. And it won't stop until it's fled. You're a knockoff facsimile, imitation, a copy. I'll never be. I'll never be. I'll never be. I'll never be. Someone taught you wrong.